While I wait for my last birthday haul package to arrive, which, putting it in all perspective, ordered in May. Now it's July. I thought I would do a new luxury makeup. This is some of the hot new releases. One of them being the Yves Saint Laurent Mini Clutch, which is not available here in the United States. If you haven't watched me before, hi, I'm in the United States. My name is Jennifer, and on my channel, I do all things luxury, beauty, fashion, run the gamut. I was a makeup artist for Chanel half a lifetime ago. And I have very dry skin, in case you're interested. Rosacea, sensitive skin, dry skin. So the YSL palettes. This is the one that y'all said that you're interested in seeing this one first. This is 100, number 100. I'll hold it up again so that the camera can get a good focus on it. It's Stella Dolls, or Stella Dolls. I'm not exactly sure how that's pronounced, but that is the name of it. And this is probably the most neutral palette of the ones that I've seen. A little cool leaning, kind of reminds me a little of soft cashmere, a little bit. And I haven't tried the formula before, and I haven't watched anyone else's videos yet. I know a couple people have done some videos on this. When is it coming to the United States? Soon? Your guess is as good as mine. You know, it's July. I'm gonna guess end of July, but it could be sooner. Let me tell you a little bit about what it says on the packaging. It says that it was made in Italy, weight 14 ounces, 4 grams. I'm not exactly sure about the price because my husband picked these up for me while he was on travel. So I'm not sure how much they're gonna be here, but like I said, they should be here soon. My understanding also is that there are some color stories like the blue one that are exclusive. I think maybe France at the moment is the only place they're available, but that could change. I've gotten some questions about the Chanel Rosy Beige Cream. Supposedly, and I showed it on my channel, and I really do like that product. Supposedly it is coming to the United States now. At least that's what we're being told now. When it will be available, again, don't know. But I am keeping a very close eye on it. And so if I see it, I am certainly going to let you all know. My take on it right now, if you're interested in it, you can get it from I think from Japan. It is available there, and reach out to me if you want to get it because you don't want to take any chances in it possibly not coming to the United States. But it was available in Canada, I believe, in the Asian market. I think it was available in the UK. I'm not even sure now. But, you know, we're getting a lot of that where these things are, it's a little unclear whether they're going to be available and when, which I really dislike. But, you know, if I had more clarity, I would tell you. When I do know things or where I know things, I put them over on Patreon. Right now I have up the Tom Ford Runway collection, pictures of it, or at least the eyeshadows. And when that's likely to launch, details on what's coming up for Chanel and when that's likely to launch. That's all over there because I have some more than likely definitive details. You never know. But where where it's just like up in the air, it's up in the air. So you just, you can only say so much. Chanel also just came out with a primer, and it reminds me a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury primers, but also Westman Atelier has their new primers. And Rhiannon, hi Rhiannon if you're watching, was kind enough to send me samples. So I have the Peau Rose, the Peau Soleil, and the Peau Pêche. So these are like the highlighting primers that she came out with, and they sort of correspond to her highlighters. So I'm gonna use the Pêche today. We're gonna see how that works, and I'll try the others as we go in another video so you guys can see them. I also have the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping. This is in Barely Blushing, so it's a very light shade. But you know, I wear a light blush. I did finally get the Victoria Beckham liners, the neon, the summer colors. I also got, I think it's Surfside? Seaside? Surfside. I was right the first time. Go me. And I'll use that today. I know that's blue and this is, neutral, but I think I can make it work. And I picked up one of the contour sculpting sticks. We're going to see how that works. And Gucci. This is Call It a Day, which is a shade that existed before, but it's in the sheer formula. So we'll talk about that. I do want to mention the nails because I've gotten a lot of questions about them because the last couple of videos I've had them on. These are the Glamnetic press-on, if you will. I mean, it's like a nail glue. Nails. This is short almond shape. I actually trimmed the top of them because I don't really like the almond shape, but I really liked the color, and this is the baby blues. I'll make sure there's a link down below in the video. They've been on for over a week. They're doing great. I haven't noticed any of them. They're doing a great job. All right, so let's try the Peau de Pêche, or I'm sorry, Peau Pêche. This is going to be the, I assume, more peachy and not rose, although that looks awfully rosy. Oh, okay. The rose is, I get it. The rose is more, so actually I'm going to use the Peau Rose because, all right, so let me just show you. Unless you got them mixed up, which is possible, but I don't think so because man is pretty good about that. This is the Peau Pêche and this is the Peau Rose. And I think the rose will actually work better for the color story we're doing today because the Pêche actually looks more pink, like ballerina pink, which is interesting. So let's do Peau Rose. Hopefully this is Peau Rose and not Peau Pêche. If somebody has them and knows, let me know. I don't want to mislead a bunch of people, but that is how it's labeled. It's labeled as rose. And so I just thought, you know, we would try it out. It has a slight scent to it. Nothing terrible, just, you'll see my face gets red, as I mentioned. I have rosacea. The minute you put something on, rub it in, that's what happens. Yeah, I don't think it does much. Let's put a little bit more, like, underneath. And it's okay if it doesn't do a lot. I mean, it depends on what you want in the product. I'm gonna kind of put it under my eye, you know, to keep that area like highlighted and light, but not drastically. It does have a scent. What is that? I don't know what the scent is. It's nice. It's nice, it's light, but it's like, so that's what the, says Peau Rose. That's what it says. And then the Soleil, let me just show you on the back of my hand since I showed you the other two. It definitely looks like, you know, like a one that would kind of be like a tan on me. Actually, you know what? I could use it. That's what that one looks like. That's the Soleil. Let me use the Soleil kind of, I'm going to use it just really like a little bit of it underneath. Yeah, it definitely gives a little bit of bronziness to my skin. Not a lot, but a little. And I will say it doesn't look too shimmery. Like, don't get me wrong, it's shimmery, but it doesn't look like glitter or glimmer. But I have very dry skin. Although lately it hasn't been as dry. I've talked about this if you watch me for a while. My skin has gotten less dry over the years. I don't know what's happening. In fact, you can see like around my mouth it's all broken out. Don't know. But anyway, okay, so I'm gonna use the Chanel. This is the Touch Foundation. I'm gonna wait a minute. I'm gonna kind of let this sit in and then I'm gonna put this on. But you won't see that. Well, you won't see that part on camera, but I'll probably wait about like 5 minutes just to let it, you know, kind of sit in. One thing I do want to, I might as well do during this time. So the contour that I got from Victoria Beckham is Marble. Now this shade was not the lightest shade, but I thought it was a cooler shade. Yeah, that'll work well for me. It's a cooler contour. I think that's gonna look really nice. I like the nature of this product because it's like kind of narrow, not as thick as some of my other ones. And I'll pull out, this is the Westman Atelier, this is Biscuit. Oh, interesting. Similar undertones. And then I have my Rare Beauty Bright Side. Okay, so this is Rare Beauty Bright Side, this is Biscuit, and here's Marble. You can see it's quite a bit deeper, but the underneath, the undertone, is still that pinky undertone, which is what I like. So we'll see how this one works out. What I was gonna say is I like the narrowness, you know, because if you're trying to do like your nose, trying to contour your nose, or you just want to have more of a, you know, defined line, it can be a little more difficult with these. I mean, I think it works, but this will be interesting to try out today. Okay, foundation is on. I don't know. I feel like I look a little paler. Maybe. No? Maybe I'm imagining it. Or maybe I am paler. It's also possible. Interesting. Okay. It's still, this is Chanel B12 foundation. Let's just sort of see if it settles. But it's possible that it's the, like I said, it's the Peau Rose underneath brightened my skin so it looks lighter. Guess that's possible. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, Marble. Let's go ahead and try it. So different ways you can do this. The best way, in my opinion, is always to use a brush. Put this on a brush. But I want to show you the line that it can draw, which is pretty precise. You know, it's a pretty tight line, which is nice. If you're gonna contour, I don't do a heck of a lot of contouring, to be honest with you guys. It's just not something I do, but I know a lot of people do, so I'm not, you know, not saying it's in any way a bad thing. It's just that whatever, you know, you like to do for your face, just remember contour goes in the hollows. Try to like push that back, and you know, highlighter and bronzer kind of goes on the high points where the sun would hit. Okay, so that actually is a good color for me, even though it's definitely deeper when you saw it on the, I'm just using whatever's on the brush, when you saw it on my hand. Yeah, I think that actually looks great. And again, you could use your fingers to do this. You don't need to use a brush. I always feel like a brush is better because I get more control. However, if, you know, depending on your skin, like the warmth of your hand can also make a product look, you know, better. So I think that's really interesting because my skin just looks really light right now. And I think it may be the, like, the highlight, the reflective nature of the rose underneath. I'm not saying it looks bad, but I do think I look paler, which is really interesting to me. Anyway, so yeah, I think the Marble is a really good shade. If you like this, it will work on somebody as pale as I am, evidence. And it's a good product. It's really creamy. It blends really easily. You know, I would actually pick up other shades to see how they work. I think this one's great. All right, the Makeup by Mario. This is, as I said, a very popular item. I've seen a lot of folks talking about it, but I have not tested it. I'm going to use the new brush, relatively new brush from Synergy. This is the Sheer Buffer. So I'm going to put it right into the pan. And again, this is barely blushing, so I know this is a lighter shade. The thing that I've heard about these is that they are a little light in pigment. And for me, that is not a concern because I'm pale. I have to tell you, and I didn't want to say this because I don't need any more blush, but I love that. Shoot. Seriously. That is now partially, this could be going on so beautifully because of the brush. This is a really good brush. If you're looking for something that puts on cream blushes, and I'm being very, like, if you haven't watched me before, you can't know that this to be true. I know it's hard to tell who's honest these days, but I will always give everything a very honest review. I'll be very blunt if I don't like something or if something's bad. This is a really good product, and this brush puts everything on well. Like, honestly, every cream I've tried with this thing, the cream looks better with this brush. So I will say that I just was slightly unfair in my review because I used a brush that's going to make it look fabulous anyway, but I love that. I love that because it is light, which I knew this one was going to be, but it does look like seamless. It looks really plumpy, healthy. Yeah, shoot. Look, guys, I love Mario. It's not that I don't want to like his products. It just, I don't need more stuff. I don't need more stuff that I really like and want to buy a bunch of different shades. Are 12 months. It's got a Leaping Bunny, made in Italy. Plumping Blush Veil. So yeah, I mean, it's in the name. It's a veil. It's not a deep blush. So you can see it's even fading a little bit as I wear it. But again, I picked the shade that was like barely blushing, so it's a very light shade. but I chose it on purpose because this is the kind of aesthetic that I do. The House Labs, which I absolutely love, I think it's a great formula. I don't reach for them. I did in my review. Great formula, but I don't wear them because they're too pigmented. So this is like the exact opposite of that. So if you're looking for something that's super pigmented, do not get this. But I just think it looks, wow, that looks great. And it's not, I mean, it's a little sticky at the moment, but you know, but not like sticky, just a little, that looks, shoot. Yeah, I really like that. Okay. Gotta wait for the Sephora sale to pick up more. It's getting a long way off. By the way, I'm gonna have new perfumes that I'm trying at the end of the video. I'm gonna try to do more of that, like at the end of every video, have a perfume segment. If you're not interested, you don't have to watch it, but it'll be like after the outro or something. I haven't figured that out yet. But anyway, these are the Kayali, the Wedding, the Velvet Santal, and the Silk Santal. Yes, it's coming in the reviews. I've been wearing them for a couple days, but the review's coming at the end. All right, so we're gonna try on the lipstick while we put the shadow on. Again, this is the call of the day, but this is the sheer formula. Very pretty pinky nude. Again, light, but works perfectly with this blush and a great shade. Like, I love this kind of shade. I like something that's easy that can go with everything. I know not everybody's about that. Some people like a very bold lip. I'm not a bold lip kind of person. But yeah, that's phenomenally good. Okay. I don't mean to sound like depressed that this is like going well. It's just, the charges are mounting. I just picked up new Dior. It's gotta stop. Okay, I'm gonna take a little Dior bronzer. I'm just gonna bronze up my face just a tiny bit. So let's go ahead and get into what probably a lot of you are here for, is the Yves Saint Laurent. I'm gonna continue using my Sonia G brushes because I love my Sonia G brushes, but I mean, I've been using the Sky Set here for some time. I'm gonna hold up the quad one more time so you guys can see it. Again, this is Stella Dolls. I am doing the American terrible accent of it, but that's what it looks like to me. Shade 100, which I think is the most cool neutral that I've seen of the shades that they have. All right, let's swatch it. Let's try the, ooh, sorry, it's like super soft. The YSL, by the way, is gone. Like, the embossing is gone. The minute I put my finger in it, it was over. Which, should have taken pictures of it. Oh well. I'm not as good at that, like the whole taking pictures and making sure they're posted. I sometimes forget. Work is so busy most of the time that I'm just like, yeah, I'll try. It's amazing I get up videos, frankly, with my schedule the way it is. Wow, that is super soft. Really beautiful. Light. I mean, this is not a heavy pigmented, I don't mean that there's not pigment, I just mean like it's not a deep quad, but really beautiful. I'm also going to be doing I'm going to take the deepest shade, the brown shade. I'm also going to be doing a cream blush ranking. I did my powder blush ranking. Cream, oh wow, that's more pigment than I thought it would be. Let's put a little bit on that brush over here. I'm going to have that coming soon. I have a lot coming soon. Any of you pick up the Chanel Codes collection, that colorful collection? I will be doing a review. Yes, I did pick some of it up, maybe more than some of it. We'll talk about that. Mistakes might have been made. I don't know. It was a very rough week, which is not an excuse. But anyway, I will have a review of that collection. That'll go up soon. I have to record it, but I will do that soon. Always things happen at once. Have you ever noticed that? Like, get all your packages at once, like, you know, good news all happens at once, bad news all happens at once. Like, what is that? I'm just gonna clean out the outside of my eye. Yeah, that went on really well. And hopefully I'll have at the end of this video the rating system that I was working on go up. Fingers crossed. If you don't see it at the end, then something went terribly wrong. Who knows these days, right? Can't roll with the punches. Otherwise, Life just throws things at you. Okay, let's take the light shade. My little pup Harper, thanks for all the well wishes. He's eating, and in fact, he has quite an appetite. And he's okay during the day, but for some reason, between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m., he has decided it is time to cry and to whimper and to keep mommy awake. And then the rest of the day, he's totally fine. I don't know what's going on. It's really at a loss. So it may be vet time, emergency vet time. I'm sorry, that was this shade here. Let's talk about Harper. I'm gonna take this light shade and put it in the inner corner. The reason I say emergency vet, pancreatitis is one of those things, especially if it becomes chronic. You know, they have to do like an ultrasound, and there's lots of fun, very expensive things involved. Which of course I'm happy to do for Harper, but you know, it's not like really you make an appointment. You have to go and sit there for several hours. So we'll see. I'd like to avoid that if at all possible, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If he needs to go, that is where I will go. All right, now we'll take the shimmery shade here and pop that on the eye. I'm telling you, that is super soft. Like, let me show you the palette. You saw what it looked like before, and now you'll see what it looks like after I've used it. I will say this shade, although beautiful, would probably do well with like a glitter glue or like the Pat McGrath tool, because it would like be more intense. Do you know what I mean? I'll try a Kolinsky brush with it, but you see how the YSLs are gone? They're not there anymore. They went bye-bye. Which is, you know, fine. Like, you know, embossing is not gonna stay. I mean, I'm gonna use Kolinsky brush, just this really sparkly shade. Just want to see if even the brush is enough. Like I said, I think it would probably need like a glitter glue. No, the Kolinsky brush does it. These brushes are freaking amazing. Okay, yeah, you could do if you had this type of brush, or you know, some type of, okay, you know what this reminds me of? Metal Lust. Metal Lust by Tom Ford. It's not exact, guys, but it's a very similar vibe. I'll get some swatches going. Let me know what else you want this compared to. I'm not getting like super, like, don't get me wrong, I want to get this out soon, but those of you who can get this already have probably already seen a ton of reviews. So if you're in Europe, in the UK, and those of you in the US who, you know, you can't get it yet. So I feel like there's not as much of a rush, because those of you who might be interested in it in the UK have already, you know, probably seen a lot of reviews with this one, because it's been available there for a little bit of time. I just deepened up the crease with the deep brown. Wow, that is beautiful. YSL did a great job. Now, is the color story unique? No. My goodness, no. But that went on beautifully. This is going to be an easy to use everyday kind of quad. If you don't use the sparkle shade, it's definitely more, you know, it's a simpler look. How's that? But even with the sparkle shade on it, it's not over the top by any means. I mean, it's just beautiful. Let's see how it wears. It's always an issue. All right, now, this is the Surfside Victoria Beckham. Two things about the Victoria Beckham pencils. They are super soft. So soft that you have to be very careful how you use these. Because if you don't want a lot of liner, which is what I'm trying to do right now, because I don't want to overpower the neutralness of this look, you have to go on with a super light hand, and I mean super light, because this smudges immediately upon, like, not smudges, it immediately just like goes across your eye. It's so easy to put on, which is fantastic, especially if you have like drier eyes like I do. It's amazing. However, you can overpower the look with the liner just like almost immediately. Now, once it dries down, it's not budging. This stuff doesn't go anywhere. Now, it's not like the waterproof ones that Chanel has, okay? So I'm not guaranteeing that, but I will say, once you have this on, it's gonna stay. So I just want to add like a little bit of this. You can see how careful I'm being. It's a beautiful blue. People don't believe me about these pencils until they get them, and then they were like, oh yeah, now I see what you're talking. It's like the Rare Beauty blushes when I told everyone, I was like, use a real little amount. I'm telling you, you can always go back and use more, but don't put on a lot. Everyone was like, oh yeah. And then they're like, oh, yeah. I will probably never make it through a full Rare Beauty blush, which is fine. Hopefully they don't go bad. But yeah, they're super pigmented. They're like these, like tiniest bit, and then, you know. But that actually is a beautiful look. Not something I necessarily would have thought of, except for the fact that I really wanted to use the Surfside today. But the blue, in contrast with the, because they're both cool, that's why I thought it would work. The cool nature of the palette, but it's neutral, is actually a really nice look. Especially with the lip, because it's basic, you know, like it's a good night, like brownie pink. And the blush, having a very good or bad day, depending. Bad for my wallet, good for my face. Although I didn't buy the eyeshadows. My husband bought those for me, so that's a little better. All right, let me put some mascara on. We'll come right back. Back with a little bit of mascara. Okay. I'm laughing because I'm just like, ugh. I really don't need to develop more favorites. I truly don't. Like, my collection, one of these days I will do a video where I will show you my entire collection of makeup. Maybe for like the holidays, I'll do something like that, and you will all just be like, what is wrong with this person and why does she have so much? Because I very rarely throw things out. Like I did my foundation declutter where I got rid of a whole bunch of foundations and lipsticks when they go bad. So if something goes bad, yeah, absolutely, I get rid of it. Or mascara after 6 months, I get rid of that. But everything else, like all the powder products and everything else, I just keep them like under lock and key. So yeah, okay. All right, so let's go through and hopefully the rating thing pops up and this all works. And the idea, the way that it should work, I'm not saying it's gonna, but is that the picture will go up like this, and then next to it will be the rating system. So let's see if that actually happens. Now again, I will say that this is a little bit of a caveat, whereas I'm using a lot of these things for the first time, not all of them, but a lot of them. So these things could change, but for the most part, I think I'm gonna be, you know, where I need to be cautious in my recommendation, I will be. And then I will do the perfumes after I do my wrap up here. So I'll like say goodbye to all of you and then have the perfume if you want to hang around for that. Okay. So first is the Yves Saint Laurent Couture Mini Clutch. I would say this is a buy now. This is a really excellent formula. One of the best that I have seen. It's soft. It goes on super easily, but you see the different shades. The sparkle shade at the end is quite stunning. This is a very usable palette. This is a very cool neutral. If you like cool neutrals, absolutely it's a buy now. Now again, you might not be able to get it just yet because it might not be available where you are, but if you can. Packaging is very luxe. I like the way it's done. It's got a nice click close. I think it's a reasonable amount of product. It says 24-month shelf life, so that's 2 years, which in my world probably means like 10. Just kidding. Kind of not. The overall look is like, I give the packaging a beautiful, like a 10. I think it's really well done, easy to take with you. It's relatively light, but hefty enough to feel like it's luxury. And the product is excellent. And this color story, I think, will appeal to a lot of people because it's a cool neutral that a lot of folks can wear. You can deepen it with that brown, and the sparkle shade is just stunning. So I put that at the buy now. The only caveat I would have to that is if they come out and say it's like $150. If they do that, my opinion will change. I'm gonna guess it's in the, you know, Dior, Tom Ford, Chanel range. So I'm gonna guess around like $75 in the US. I don't know. We'll see how expensive it is. You know, it's hard to tell because it depends on a number of different factors about how they price it here in the US. But That's what I'm going to guess. So if I can find a price that accords with that, I'll let you know. If I can find out how much my husband paid for it in London, I'll let you know that too. Second, let's do the Victoria Beckham. The Victoria Beckham Contour Stylus. This is in shade Marble, and I absolutely love it. I think it worked extremely well on the skin. It blended right in. Marble's a really nice, beautiful, cool shade. It's like biscuit. And what was the shade in Bright Side in Rare Beauty, but deeper. So if you have a deeper skin tone than I do, and you're worried that wouldn't work for you, it definitely does, but it's light enough that I can also use it. I sort of smudged it out. It is 0.04 ounces, so there's not a lot of product in here. That's the only thing I would say. I'll put the price down below. I don't think Victoria Beckham is priced outlandishly at all. It's 24 months. I really like her products, and I think they're priced accordingly. They are clean beauty, and I think the packaging is well done. It's well constructed. I think this will be easy to travel with, so I call that a buy now as well. I think it's an extremely good product, and it's something that's actually missing from the market because there isn't another contour stick that I'm aware of that has that kind of shading that's a luxury product that blends extremely well and is narrow like that. They're all broader like the ones that I have. For the eyeliner, it's definitely a buy now. I've talked about these for a long time. The Satin Kajal liners, they're all beautiful. Pick a shade that you like. The Surfside, I think, is a stunning blue, I have to say. That's why I wore this headband today. One of my favorite shades. So if you're somebody like me that likes that kind of shade, you like that blue, but it's very wearable. Like, it's not neon, it's not super bright. As you saw, I put it on with a very neutral, although cool neutral, look, and it still worked perfectly. The only caveat for the liners is, like I said, go lightly. Go lightly with them. Otherwise, you're gonna have all liner and not much else. Gucci. This is the Gucci Rouge of Lèvres. It's probably terrible. Call it a day. This is number 214, and this is in the sheer product. Sheer lipstick. And the very cute packaging. So, for the packaging and the luxurious nature of the lipsticks, I give it a buy now. I love the packaging for the Gucci lipsticks. I actually think they're great. They're very retro. I love that kind of look. They have some weight to them. And I think the products themselves, the lip products, are actually extremely good. However, my caveat, and that's why I'm going to put it in the it's good category. That's why I came up with this scale, so it would give everybody a little nuance. This is a sheer lipstick, and I am one of those people who's happy to pay a very, very ridiculous price, a very heightened price for packaging and name, because it's the packaging, which is kind of cute, and I think it's like really retro, like I just said. I love it, and it's Gucci, okay? So you're paying for that. You can get this look with lots of other products, including Glossier, which I talked about last week or whenever this goes up, which is a much cheaper price point. Dior has products like this, which is about the same price point, but still, there's a lot of products on the market that have a glossy, shiny lip that are sheer, beautiful. Chantecaille has them. I mean, there's tons. There's tons. So I don't think it's revolutionary at all, but I will say, if you're somebody like me who loves a glossy balm, you wear them all the time, you're looking for a shade that's like a cool neutral shade, like a cool pink, but not Barbie pink, like has a little bit of brown to it. This is a lovely shade, and it's sheer, so you can just put it on with anything, which I do love. The Westman Atelier highlighting, I forget what they're actually called. Let me make sure the right name is down below in the description box. I gotta say, guys, I'm not sure what it did. That's the only thing I would say. I'm not going to rate those yet. I need to play around with them some more. I just think it would be unfair for me to rate it at the moment. I need to try them by themselves, and then I put it on with the Chanel touch because I know that product so well now that I do see a tiny bit of difference, but what I see is a brightening, which is not a bad thing. But I don't know how it's gonna wear. Like, I don't know how my skin is gonna break it down. I don't know if my skin's gonna look more oily in the day. It certainly doesn't look shiny. It doesn't look glimmery. It just looks, to me, radiant and actually quite good. But I need to play around with it more before I'm able to say to you, yeah, you know, this is something that I can give you a recommendation on a scale. But I think for first take, I actually like the product. I don't know if it's a necessary product. That's the thing. Like, would it be nice to have? Sure. But if you have the Charlotte Tilbury, I think you basically have the same thing. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Again, we'll see how it wears. I will have a rating. I'm going to play around with this more. I'll give you updates. What am I forgetting? Oh, Makeup by Mario. Okay. This one's tough because, again, this is the first time I've used this, and I don't want to give you something that I'm going to regret saying. However, I'm going to put it in the It's Good category and not the Buy Now category, and I'll tell you why. For me, and I think I am the exception. I could be wrong. I like a blush, which is why I like the Armani cream blushes so much that they got rid of. I like a blush that only looks like I looked like I went to all my yoga classes and Pilates classes and I'm feeling healthy. I don't really want to look like I'm wearing a blush. I want to have this sort of natural blush to my skin. Part of that is from the fact that I have rosacea, and so when my skin looks red, which is most of the time, I think it looks, I don't like it. I've done lasers and everything else to try to get away from that redness. So putting it back on my face is not something I'm interested in doing. So I need something that looks like just like a natural flush from within, kind of healthy. And that's what I get from this. I get a veil. I get it's in the name, blush veil. And that's what I get. So for me and what I love, this is a buy now, and I'm going to put all of the other shades in my cart. So when there's a sale at Sephora, which they'll probably not be available, but anyway, you know how I feel about Sephora. Anyway, I will buy the other shades. I absolutely love this product. I love the way it went on. I love the way it looks on me. I love the feel of it. I actually even like the packaging. It's not luxurious packaging, don't get me wrong. It's like, you know, it's plastic but it's well made. It's like well constructed. It's not like cheap. And I really like the nature of the product. I think it feels nice. It doesn't feel too sticky. It sort of faded into the skin well. I really love this. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Armani's. But I think the take on those Armani's, and one of the reasons they went away, is many people felt like they didn't have enough pigment, and I get that. I'm a very pale person. I understand that most people are going to want a blush that's going to show up on them, and it's unfair to have a product that doesn't. So I totally get that. So that's why I'm putting it's good, because I think for a wide swatch of people, it's going to be just good. And then I think for some people, it's going to be, like most things, it's going to be the best. So that's where I'm putting it now. We'll see how it goes as I try out more shades. Hopefully I can pick up like one more, like a deeper one, see how that works. That's not on sale before I get the others. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I'm going to leave you all here. And thanks. If you have any questions about any of this, or you have any comments, the Yves Saint Laurent, like I said, I'm going to do the 300 and the 400. Those reviews will be coming up soon. And more with the highlighters and a whole bunch of other stuff. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. Let me know what you want me to swatch the 100 next to, like swatch comparisons that I'll have up on Instagram, and I'll do those for you. And more coming. So thanks so much for joining me. Oh, and don't forget, Perfume is going to be after this. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video real soon. Bye. Okay, for those of you who are interested in the perfumes. So Kayali came out with the wedding perfumes. These are limited edition, and I don't know how long they're going to be out. I'm going to look here and see if it says anything about how long they're available. I did pick these up at Sephora. I saw that the small sizes, these are the 10 mils, were available, and I knew they were going to sell out. I just knew it. This is wedding season, and the fact that they're limited edition, the black and cream boxes, and I was like, yeah, this is good. Anyway, the perfumes I actually have downstairs. I'll put up the pictures of the bottles, my bottles that I bought. I took some pictures of them. So what do I think of these? Now, first of all, the one that is the Silk Santal, which is the cream box, is sold out, I think, on Sephora. The Velvet Santal is available. And you can buy these on the Kayali site as well. So they are described as unisex, layerable, cruelty-free, woody. The velvet one, the velvet Santal, is available, and it's described as a woody, earthy scent. The silk Santal, I believe, like I said, is sold out. The keynotes are for the silk: sparkling champagne, white freesia, pink praline, lush nectarine, sandalwood, and sugared musk. The velvet: jasmine petals, tea leaves, white musk, cedarwood, benzoin, and sandalwood. So the velvet is more of a traditional musky sandalwood, more traditionally masculine fragrance. It's absolutely unisex. There is no doubt. Anyone could wear this. But it is a warm, woody scent. It has a little bit of tea that I can smell in there. What I get mostly is the benzoin and the sandalwood and a little bit of the musk. That's what it dries down to. It's actually a lovely fragrance. Very wearable. I don't think you would offend anyone anywhere with this. It actually lasts for quite some time and is very pleasant. The silk disappears faster on me. It's a sweeter, lighter, has a little bit of musk, that sugared musk, but I get mostly the sandalwood for me and a little bit of that champagne. It's not floral. It's a musky sandalwood. It is a lovely, again, very lovely scent. I actually think these are great layering scents. These are the kind of scents you could put on, wear all day, wear to the office. You're going to smell nice. You're going to smell, if you like sandalwood. If you don't like sandalwood, don't even look at these. Nice sandalwoods. The silk is more like silky, has more of that light, a little bit more sparkling kind of scent. And the velvet has a little bit of tea, a little bit of benzoin, a little muskier. They are both, though, the kind of fragrances that I don't think, like, in a good way, you'd be like, this is not going to offend anyone. I can wear it everywhere. I can spray it liberally, and I'm good. If you're the kind of person, though, that wants a signature scent that everyone knows, like, oh yes, that's that beautiful scent, that's where it's coming from, these aren't those, in my opinion. They are beautiful. They are lovely. They are slightly simple. And I think, as I was saying about layering, if you wore these all day to work, they'd be great for work, especially the silk. I use work because I'm in an office. There's other people, you know, on a plane, on a train, anywhere there's a lot of people. You could then put on a heavier scent, a deeper scent, a more, something that some people might dislike, you know, distinctive scent, and layer on this, I think would be amazing. So my take on both of these are, when I was using my, my rating scale, is that I would say, personally, they're good. They're both good. I love the fact that I have the 10mm sizes. The only thing that is prompting me to maybe buy a bigger size is the fact that they're limited edition. And so I'm going to keep wearing them, kind of decide. I don't think you need both. I don't think they're that different. Like I said, the silk is lighter. It does dissipate faster. The velvet is more traditionally masculine, both still unisex. Get your nose on them, see what you think. I may buy a bigger bottle because of the limited edition nature, but it's not something I was like immediately like I must, like I did with the pistachio. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.